Welcome to Red Eye. It's like terms of endearment, if by endearment you mean probation. Let's go to TV's Andy Levy for our pregame report. So, V-neck, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Thanks, Greg. Coming up on the big show, the Council on American Islamic Relations advises women wearing hijabs to allow TSA pat-downs only on the head and neck. In related news, all air travelers have started wearing hijabs. Plus, a California middle school tells a student he has to take an American flag off his bike. The outrageous story that will fill you with outrageous outrage. And finally, Jen Sturger talks with NFL investigators about Brett Favre. We'll take a short, soft look at this hairy situation straight ahead. Greg?
Thank you, Andy.
By this hand, I will take thee a box on the ear. By this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth. Greg?
Boys with women's voices strive to speak big. Corrupt of words, you are a disease that must be cut away.
I like boys with women's voices.
Sure you do. I welcome a bitter end to your horrible life. Let's welcome our guest. There she is. Her name, Shira Lazar, TV personality and blogger. She's so cute that My Little Ponies collect My Little Shiras, and then they eat them. Yeah, they eat them. It's disgusting. Comedian Paul Mercurio, fresh from soccer practice. His new CD is called Image Makeover.
Kick the ball, you damn idiots! Kick! You're just like your brother Johnny.
All right.
I want to be in L.A.
His new CD is called Image Makeover. If humor were the right thing, Spike Lee would do him. My repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz, he smells of stale urine and fresh urine. And sitting right next to me, Fox News senior correspondent Rick Leventhal. He knows current events like I know age of consent. It's purely for research, people. And his low circulation causes major frustration. It's our New York Times correspondent. Good to see you again, Pincho.
Obama's glow dims on trip to Asia, says today's headline. You know why it grows dim, don't you? Asia is racist.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
That's some news that's fit to print.
You got it.
You got it.
Oh, shut up.
You shut up.
All right. They say pat-downs don't work for women in burqas. Nice. Yes, they're getting crabby over hijabis. I speak of the Muslim group. I'm sorry. It's Friday. I'm mailing it in. I speak of the Muslim group CARE, which is advising women wearing a head covering to allow TSA-enhanced pat-downs only on the head and neck area. Yeah, nothing below the noggin. After the TSA's pat-down policy went into effect in October, a month, the group issued a travel warning to Muslim airline passengers in the U.S. and offered a, quote, special recommendation for hijab wearers. Quote, before you are patted down, you should remind the TSA officer that they are only supposed to pat down the area in question. In this scenario, your head and neck, i.e. the only places where it's impossible to hide a bomb. Bill Schultz's bad breath notwithstanding. The TSA calls the new pat-downs, quote, one important tool to help detect hidden and dangerous items like explosives. Speaking of important tools. That was my roommate, Steve. Nice, Steve, but why don't you just do the dishes once in a while? You know, that doesn't clean the apartment. Hey, Rick, this does nothing to mend American Islamic relations, does it?
I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing, Greg, is that we not offend any air travelers.
That's a good point.
Let's
That's a
keep
good point.
their best interest in mind.
I think you're being facetious.
Do you?
It's the
Yes.
fact is fastidious.
Yes.
The fact is, some of these new pat-down procedures suck, right? I mean, they're really invasive. But airplanes remain the biggest terror target on the planet. I mean, there have been more than 600 attempted attacks on aircraft since 1970. More than 600. And they continue to do it. We've seen it.
Yeah.
So you got to do something. And that includes sometimes invasive.
That's what I mean. That's why I said, they've got to meet us halfway. Paul, that's what makes us all Americans, is that we're all undergoing annoying and embarrassing searches.
Yes, I'm Catholic. I get no. This is so. First of all, where do you get the cojones if you're representing the Muslim community with the track record that the Muslim community has of terrorism to want an exemption from the, you can't, that doesn't, this, you can't, stop mocking me.
You're so angry you cannot.
No, because I can't believe that they have the balls to ask for this. Like, who, in head and nostril? What, are people hiding Berettas in their noses? What is going on? This is so ridiculous. Look, why do Muslims not want to know what's in the scarves of other Muslims? They're the last people I would trust if I were Muslims. I'm Catholic and I have an 11-year-old boy. If I see a priest at a Chuck E. Cheese, I'm calling an Amber report in. This is not the way this is supposed to work.
Wait a second. What if it's just a dude wearing wearing a priest outfit at the Chuck E. Cheese. You're cool with that, right?
Well, now you know what I do on the side, but that's. I don't get it. There are people living in denial. They're like a whole religion of Charlie Sheen. What's going on?
You just stole my Charlie Sheen joke.
Hey, Shira, wouldn't this, in a weird way, well, not a weird way, but a sensible way, encourage bombers to wear hijabs?
I mean,
because
yeah,
now they
it'll
know
be the new fashion, the new trend, actually.
Yes.
But that's the thing. It's like, and if it will offend them, it can offend Christians, Orthodox. I mean, anyone can say that they don't want to, appear naked. I mean, it invades, like you said, everyone's privacy. No one likes all this stuff, but we need to do it to continue the safety of our country, right?
Right, exactly.
It's like, what do you want to do about it?
I hate to remind people that some Muslims have actually dressed up in women's clothing and hidden bombs under their clothes and detonated themselves.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, Bill, you do the same thing, but you don't do it for the sake of bombing.
Just Saturday.
Just Saturday, yeah.
Why are they not respecting my religion? I went to school at Our Lady of the Rub and Tug, the random rub and tug. They don't search me enough, Greg.
They don't.
I demand a more thorough
don't.
search, and they don't give
They
that to
don't.
me. Why are my religious needs not considered here?
Yeah. You know what? You spent 6 years there. Most guys graduate in 4.
No. I stayed back because of good behavior.
Yeah, really?
You need bad behavior at that
Yeah.
school, Greg.
I will say this. Those do look comfortable.
Yes.
I understand the hijab. I think, in hot weather, those things, because we all know what it's like to travel in pants.
Yes.
It's not. Yeah, I do.
You need to respect it. Listen, you need to respect the religious right. You need to respect that this is a part of their religion. But the fact is, they can't expect that everything's going to change just because of that.
Yeah, there's no practical application of anything anymore when religion is so paramount that you can't even not want to blow people up without offending somebody. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, seriously, if they were selling Snuggies at the gift shop and we all went and bought Snuggies and put them on,
Said this is part of our religion.
they wouldn't let us on.
Right,
They wouldn't let us on.
I
You
feel
can't
like
wear a Snuggie?
You can't wear a Snuggie on the plane.
in the
Really?
interest.
I don't know. I'm making this up.
I'm wearing one now.
I am, yes.
I'm so doing that.
I'm wearing a
when I get
Snuggie
back to LA.
thong.
I think in the interest of PR alone, the imams should give these women a mulligan on this one. These poor, untouched women need some loving, and we need some security. Why don't we just come together on this?
Right.
That's beautiful.
Thank
On that
you.
note, all right, from burkas to bicycle-us. Earlier this week, a California 13-year-old had been told to remove his U.S. flag from his China-made Schwinn. Is it really?
I don't know.
Oh, who cares? Citing security concerns coming from, quote, racial tensions. School Superintendent Edward Perez pointed to some sort of vague Mexican-American divide within Denair Middle School that's been prevalent since Cinco de Mayo, which is Spanish for I love Greg Gutfeld. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Anyway, due to overwhelming media coverage, all of it outrage, today the school rescinded its flag ban. Here's the safety-obsessed superintendent's super safe take on this unsafe matter.
This morning we met with the principals and the campus supervisors to just kind of get the complete story on why this campus supervisor asked Cody to remove his flag. And it was based on some information that she heard about the students complaining, some racial tensions, and basically some concern about his safety. So, and of course any type of disruption that may have occurred. So he was asked to take it down at that time.
What is Rex Ryan doing being the superintendent in California? Why is he moonlighting? He's got to focus on the Jets, Greg.
Yeah, that's true. Seems like a nice
Come
guy.
on,
I
Rex.
gotta say, I liked his sweater.
No,
Good
that's
sweater.
good. He's always been a fashion plate.
Good sweater for November.
Yes.
All right, for more on this story, let's go live to our flag correspondents, the Guinea Pig brothers. What's the good word, G-bros? Oh.
Those are delicious.
Sorry to bother you during your lunch break, guys. You'd think they'd stop. They're going to be on national TV.
They don't care.
Paul, has the media made too big of a deal or too little of a deal of this outrageous outrage?
I think it's perfectly the right amount of a deal to make out of it, but the problem I have is that we have kids, like teenagers, fighting over flags. What is this, the War of 1812? This is another example of the pussification of our American children. What happened to the days when kids were fighting over drugs and girls and gang violence? And then I totally, the supervisor, that he would turn this. So basically, I can't go on school grounds with the flag, okay? But the bullies can be on the school grounds who were bullying me about the flag.
Yeah.
And so they were defending the bullies. So like if somebody stabs me in the stomach, do I get thrown out of school because I'm walking around in my gut with a concealed weapon, a knife? You understand?
Yeah, it's true.
Greg, I gotta say, I'm as outraged about this story as Paul was about the last story.
Yeah.
No, you aren't!
Yes, I am.
No, you aren't!
Right.
This is America.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about the American flag.
Yes.
You can't be penalized for carrying the American, displaying the American flag. How about this? Everyone has to wear an American flag if you're in America. How about that? You know why we don't do that? Because it's America.
Yeah.
And you have a choice. And so we should celebrate that by showing the flag.
Doesn't every school have an American flag?
Yeah, that one actually. But it's just, you're
Right now,
You're
who knows
Canadian,
in a week.
Shira, so
I am.
you hate
And
Americans and Mexicans.
I'm
So
a lover of everyone.
You're a lover of everyone.
We love
Except for
everyone.
Mexicans.
But that's why they told us, when you're in Europe, what flag to wear.
Okay.
Maybe they thought, maybe
How
the
about when you're-
superintendent thought he was
How
going by
about when
those
you're in
rules.
Canada? Can you go to your school with a
Of
Canadian
course, no.
flag?
I mean, there's something.
Wave the leaf?
Something was done totally
Why'd you turn
improperly
your
about
back
this whole
on your country?
scenario. No, something. Obviously, a decision was made that was completely wrong. Like you said, the fault should have gone on the bullies, not on this innocent child. I mean, this gives him more incentive and a great story for when he
Like
runs
the
for
Iwo
president.
Jima
He's gonna be
statue,
run-
they should plant that flag right in the ass of one of the bullies, like the Iwo Jima
No,
statue.
whoever did it was a wuss. That's the bottom line. Bill, should the school be closed down and everybody involved imprisoned?
Yes, but maybe not drastic enough.
Okay.
That would be my only answer
Yes.
to that. I think he was just lazy. I think instead of trying to round up these guys, he's like, just take off the flag. And
Yeah.
look at him, he looks lazy.
Yeah,
I think he's like,
he does.
well, we could try to round up a bunch of Mexican bullies who I don't have their names, so they probably don't know who their parents are. Or I could just tell the kid to stop wearing the flag.
That's
He
probably
feels
right.
okay, yeah.
The guy just didn't feel like it wasn't. By the way, it wasn't the guy being interviewed. It was.
It was a kid with a flag on his
Maybe
bike.
he-
No,
right?
I'm talking about. It was a teacher. It wasn't the guy being interviewed who
It's
did
like
it. It was another teacher.
the head of the school
Doesn't
district
matter.
or
Head of school
something.
district.
Let's just say it's him.
Let's just say
Do you
it's
think
easier,
he's
yeah.
like the popular guy with the girls like, can I see your flag? Show me that American flag that got you in
Somebody
trouble.
claimed it might have been illegal immigrants. Somebody was claiming in the article it was like illegal immigrants that took. Yeah, this is what illegal immigrants are going to turn people in. They're going to expose their illegal status over a 3x5 flag.
I hope during your soccer practices you instill a little bit of respect among the other players.
Hey, listen, when you're out there with those kids, you got to show them a little tough love.
You know what I love? When I watch the tape of the kid riding with the flag, I just miss riding a Schwinn.
Yeah.
That's the one big message here is that as an adult, whenever you're on a bike, you have to train. You can't just ride a bike around the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And also, we're ignoring one other scenario here. Could it be that it wasn't because the kid was flying the flag, but merely because he is a dork?
Yeah.
And
That
that is what
is-
happens to
Yeah.
dorks.
He is an
Yes.
American patriotic dork. That is, and God love him. Is
Those are the cool kids now.
that okay?
Dorks are the cool kids.
No, dorks end up becoming
And geeks,
incredibly
yes.
rich and cool later. Jocks end up running trophy shops at the end of town with a meth habit.
And PA students ended up becoming sidekicks.
That is true.
Sad but true.
All right, to the Gregolog. It's a bedpan of brilliance in a hospital ward of weakness. Yeah. So I'm going to begin this Gregolog by stating plainly that I'm probably a jerk. I say this because when I examine the opinion I'm about to give, the reason for that opinion could be that I'm a jerk. So here goes. Apparently a DNA test on a strand of hair has cast doubt on the guilt of some dude named Claude Jones, this guy who was executed a decade ago in Texas while the extremely evil George W. Bush was governor. The guy had been found guilty for shooting to death a liquor store owner named Alan Hilzendagger in 1989. His getaway driver, Danny, they're always named Danny, had been previously convicted of shooting a girl between the eyes and dumping her in a graveyard. So yeah, a wonderful pair of guys. Anyway, much of the primary evidence against Jones came from his accomplices, but the hair had been the only physical evidence linking Jones to the scene, and the DNA analysis said it wasn't his, and in fact, it could be the victim's instead. So anyway, the guy was executed when he shouldn't have been. Sad story, but not for me. Jones was a brutal career criminal who, while serving a 21-year jail sentence, set fire to his cellmate, killing him. So even though a lot of people are now making hay about this DNA finding, life's too short for me to care if the court messed up. Look, this guy was involved and had a history of cruelty against people, strand of hair or not. An innocent person died, either directly or indirectly, because of him. Even Jones said before he died that he hoped his death, quote, can bring some closure to y'all. It did, and I thank him for that. That makes me a jerk. And yeah, I'm wrong, but at least I'm being honest. And if you disagree with me, you're a racist, homophobic jerkophobe.
Greg